Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Today I'm going to be talking about the game Black Desert Online. I just did a video the other day, and I know I had 3 segments in that video, and I wanted to add to some more of my thinking around the game. So let's get to it. So here I am in Heidel, and really what I want to talk about when it comes to this game is how it's kind of like plateaued a little bit. And don't take this as a gripe, it's just the reality of video games. You know, when they first come out, a lot of people jump on board. It's either their flavor of game or it's not, so you lose those people. Then you get the people that it is their flavor and they want to see one thing and it doesn't happen, so you lose those people. And then you finally get down to your core base players who are going to accept whatever is dished into the game as an add-on. They're appreciative, they play the game. And I'm kind of like in that group, but I want to really talk about the game itself for those people that I have seen leave the game. And I want to actually point out their aspect, what they were thinking when they left this game. Because when I get on video games, I get to know people. Those people like me on Facebook, they contact me through email. They're just people that I keep in contact with. And I will tell you this, out of a lot of games, in the last 5 years I've played a lot of games, this game by far has been the quickest game that I've seen people leave. And after speaking with them, they tell me what they're thinking, and this is their thoughts. Now, the first thing being is, and they should have known this when they got onto the game, that there's no dungeons in this game. There's no co-op play really in this game. So it's not like World of Warcraft, it's not like Rift, where you can, or Guild Wars 2, where you can get into a party and run a dungeon. That doesn't exist in this game. So there's nothing in the game to like really force you to get together in parties. And the only real thing in this game that kind of forces you to get together is when you're doing the PvP. So if you're not a PvP driven person, like if you entered this game thinking that you're looking for an expanding world a lot like other games of its type, this isn't it. Because all this game really delivers is, it's got a cool crafting system, which I like, but outside of that, it's PvP. It's going out and getting into guild wars or doing the node wars. But if you don't want to participate in that, then this game is going to probably be very bland for you. And I'm hoping with add-ons that they're going to add dungeons, or they can add something to this game that forces a unification of people to kind of get something accomplished. You know what I mean? So even their Halloween event. Now I'm in November 11th today. So their Halloween event, I will tell you, as a Halloween person, and if you look at my YouTube channel, you know I'm Mr. Halloween in my town, this game was the worst disappointment than any other game I've ever played when it came to the Halloween event. It was like they put a bunch of pumpkins and they put quests in that were just stupidly ridiculous. Like you had to go grind for 4 hours to get 3 drops, to possibly get 1 box. The box gave you garbage. I mean, geez, I could have crapped in my hand and got something better. I didn't like the Halloween event. It was disappointing. A lot of people jumped ship at that point when they saw how disappointing that was. Because some people will stick around for the events alone. They'll stick around, say, well, let's give it a go. But when they saw the pile of dung that this game delivered when it came to the Halloween event, it made them fearful that nothing really great is going to be developed in the future. So you lost even more people. And people can say to me, Tarkis, you're nuts, these servers are full. Well, I'm an analytical kind of guy, and I can tell you right now these servers weren't as full as they were 3 weeks ago. Because I can jump channels now. And when the first game, well, let's say like in the first 2 months of the game, I could get on my horse and ride all the way to Caffeon from Heidel, and I'd probably see 200 different people. I made that journey yesterday and saw 2 people other than myself. So you can't convince me that there's the same amount of people on these servers. Just while I look at the chat while I've been talking, it hasn't really moved. And you're going to say, oh, you're on a channel where there's nothing happening. Well, I jump channels all the time. I just swap in and out because that's what I do. So I pretty much have jumped every channel in the last week, and it's the same kind of thing. So my concern here as a playable game, it is fun. It's just that what is it going to give you other than leveling to 55, the level grind? And then even the level grind doesn't really make much sense to me because you can wear any piece of armor. So nothing is telling you that you have to be 55. The only reason why you'd want to get all the way to plus, I don't think there's a level cap in this game, but it kind of like you hit a wall, I think, at 55. I could be wrong. No, not at 55, obviously, because I'm at 55, so it's got to be 60 something. So to me in this game, leveling wasn't important. If someone told me, Tarkis, you want an epic gladiator sword, but you got to be 60th level to wield it, I would get 60th level. But there's nothing in this game kind of forcing that. Now, granted, the higher levels you are, you got access to different abilities, and you're going to be a PvP god. But outside of the PvP realm, what is you really doing in this game? And yes, it does have a lot of cool elements, like the horse trading and the grinding of skills and abilities. That's all great, and that's kind of why I play this game. That's my job. I'm not telling you that I'm disliking this game. I'm just telling you what you should be expecting, that at this point in its evolution, it shouldn't have people jumping off this ship as quickly. I mean, it's like rats jumping off a sinking ship. They're just going, and it seems silly that this game's only been not even been out a year, and you've got that kind of mass exodus off the server. Now, the other thing was the pay-to-win thing. There was an entire guild that I was in at one point, and they were hardcore PvP. There was 80 of them. I had joined the guild 2 months before this game launched. Not one of those players are left. Every single one of those players have left this game. And every single one of them, I don't obviously talk to every single one of them, but when I've asked people that I see in other games or in chat or on Facebook, they tell me as soon as it went pay to win, they were out because they did not want to compete with somebody with a credit card. And my other video was about that, kind of explaining that pay to win aspect. And I would say, well, geez, didn't you like this, and this? And they're like, what's the point? What's the point of doing any of that if they're going to go to a pay to win platform? And I can understand that. Now, again, people have different levels and tiers of what they consider pay to win to really win. This game has just dipped its toe in the pay to win bucket. But that was enough to actually drive that entire guild to another game. And the other game that most of them are going to is this one right here, Terra. And as you can see, I'm downloading Terra. And I think that's going to be my next venture when it comes to moving forward. Because again, unless Black Desert comes out with something different, because I spend my days just kind of grinding skills, I go around, kind of do a couple of the contribution quests, but as for excitement of new things to this game, seen it all, done it all, and I don't see anything being added anytime soon. And the thing with Guild Wars 2, it was always something fun that you could go around a corner and you'd see something new. And they had all these little puzzles that you can do, secret away. And then you had the boss, the epic dragons in that game that you could kill as a group. I mean, Guild Wars 2 had it down to a science, and it was fun. And it was really, really fun. And I was hoping that this game would be a little bit of that. I mean, they've got world bosses, but come on. It's like cookie cutter here. It's not like you get together and say, Bob, you need to do this, and Katie, you need to do that, and they have to do it. No, it's just total chaos on these servers. There's no, like, you just run away from the guy, you hit him from a distance, and hope he doesn't hit you once and one-shot you. And if he one-shots you, just come back and sit on a rock until he dies, because as soon as you hit him, you're going to get in the loot table. I mean, that's just silliness. I mean, that's just, and I don't do that anymore because, again, I can sit and idle and make more money sitting on my ass than I can go out and kill bosses and hope for a drop. I mean, because you're not getting any guaranteed drops in this game either. And again, don't take this video as a rant. I'm just talking about things that have affected this game and it's caused people to leave. I mean, and again, as I've been sitting here, chat hasn't moved all that much. You don't see that many. I mean, when the game first came out, you would have seen that entire area over here filled with people's horses. There would be boats. I mean, I think there's one boat out. I mean, when the game first came out, this whole dang river was full of boats. I mean, so that's giving you an indication that something has strained people wanting to come back to this game. So I don't know if a developer's ever going to see this video. Some of your guys on subscription are going to be like, well, I'm going to unsubscribe Tarkis because he's not playing the game anymore. But that's not true. I'm still going to play this game, and I'm going to give it my full attention. I mean, I'm just going to play another game while I do it. Because, in between, thinning or in between gathering or fishing, whatever I do in this game, I can go play Terra and see how that works for me. I don't know if it's going to be my new top game. I don't know. But I know that Black Desert currently is, and I've enjoyed the game. And I didn't come into this game expecting dungeons. I didn't come in, because I did firm research on this game when I started, and I knew exactly what it was. And it actually is exactly what I thought it was. I mean, other than the dipping the toe into the pay-to-win aspect, I've been pretty happy as a game consumer with this game. I've gotten my $119 worth out of it. Hands down. I mean, that's what, if I would have taken my wife out to a dinner and a movie, that would have cost me that in one night. And I've gotten months and months of entertainment out of this game for that much money. So, I'm not trying to discourage. If you just bought the game, you're like, oh, this guy is, it's like, try the game, see if you like it, and then you just can't come into the game expecting, World of Warcraft, Rift, you can't expect it to be Guild Wars 2 or any of those type of games, because, this is a different flavor of game. And again, the game is young, but I would hope that they would kind of get some of these updates. If they're going to add function to this game that forces people to come together, they got to do it soon. Because right now, I haven't been in a guild for like a month. There's no reason for me to be in a guild. If I wanted to go do Node Wars, certainly I would need a guild. But outside of that, you don't need a guild. And that's kind of hurting this game a little bit. It's a commodity. People feeling like, I can't even trade with, you can trade beer and potions. You can trade a couple things, but those become bound in that person's inventory. They can't sell it and they can't put it in their bank. So it's burning a slot in their inventory until they get rid of it. So that's kind of what hurt this game a little bit too, because like in WoW or even Guild Wars 2, if someone said, Tarkis, can you just spot me 10 gold, I want to buy something, I could hand them 10 bucks, 10 gold, and they could go get what they needed. In this game, that doesn't happen. You can't trade with anybody in this game, which is kind of what people loved about the game when it first came out, was the fact that you had to earn your stripes. You had to earn it in this game if you wanted it. But the problem with that is, with that kind of closed in, you have to earn it, once you've opened it up to the tip the toes to pay to win, then you need to rethink the ability of locking down of people's ability to trade. Because what people were thinking was, if Tarkis handed me 10 gold, I basically allowed that person to get an upper hand and they didn't do anything for it. And that's what this game was trying to put a throttle on, that if you wanted 10 gold, you had to go out and get 10 gold. So, again, it's, you got to take this video for what I'm just trying to say. This video is more about the status of Black Desert. And I bet the next big update, when they add some content or something interesting, people will come back and try this game. And maybe some will stay, or maybe some will say, look, this is same old. I can blow through this content in an hour. What else is there? And, they have a good opinion, especially when there's so many other games out there that deliver, different aspects of the games. And, I don't know if Terra is going to be that game for me, how that's going to work. And the only reason why this is downloaded, I had throttled this down because I'm actually doing Black Desert. I actually got World of Warships minimized, and I've got Netflix running on mute right now, so that's why this is taking forever to download. But tomorrow I'll probably get into Terra and really, figure out what the nuts and bolts of that is about. Well, I guess, this is really it. That's all I really wanted to talk about. So thank you for joining me. This has been the Tarkis Zone.